Welcome to another episode of Breaking into Cybersecurity, where we talk to individuals that have broken into the field so that they can share their tips, tricks, and suggestions for others breaking into the field. Today, we have Raphael Nicolich. First, before we jump right in, let's put a call out that if you enjoyed this episode after viewing, please do share it with all your friends and family, because we do need to have that diverse perspective of individuals coming from different backgrounds and different varieties into the cybersecurity field so that we can tackle the problems from tomorrow. Phil, tell us a little bit about where you were before you were in cybersecurity.
Sure. First of all, thank you so much for inviting me here. I'm honored. I came to know about your podcast late 2021, and I'm still in shock that I was invited to be here. I never thought that one day I will be the guest talking how I broke into cybersecurity. Yeah, so let me just go ahead and start this. Hi, everyone. I'm Raphael Nicolich. I was born and raised in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, where I graduated from law school. After getting my Juris Doctor degree, I continued studying hard, and I was able to join the Rio de Janeiro State Police as a police detective. That was mid 2012. However, during my time in the police academy, I learned about the police detectives working as an intelligence analyst in the police departments and what they do there and such. So my plans changed. So after the police academy graduation in early 2013, I was designated to work in the police departments as an intelligence analyst, helping other police detectives with their investigations. And I've moved a lot from different police departments. And during the almost 6 years, I had been in that position before moving to the US at the beginning of 2019. Let's see. Yeah. So what brought me here to the US almost 5 years ago was a PhD opportunity for my wife. She had reached to an university professor here in the US, whom she met at a conference back in Brazil. And they had a spot for international students in their lab. And since it was a massive opportunity for her career and was her dream, we decided to move here. But the thing was, back in Brazil, and as I said in the beginning, I have a Juris Doctor degree. I can really did that in the US, take the bar exam and be a lawyer if I wanted to adventure myself on that path. And what about law enforcement? Someone might ask. I discovered back then that here in the US, regardless of scope or level, state, city, detectives or police officer, it requires at least a green card, something I still need to get, I thought. So what should I do career wise? I thought, okay, IT. I really enjoy computers. I'm good at it. I've always built my desktop computers, but what exactly in IT realm? So at that time, I was between IT support and web development. And during this phase, thinking about the pros and cons between them, I saw an advertisement for the Google IT support certificate program, and I found that interesting, and I jumped right into it. And curious enough, the last module of that program talk about cybersecurity.
Well, before we jump in there, let me try to dissect a little bit. When you were in Brazil, it sounds like you were part of the police department as an intelligence analyst for many, many years. What were some of now that you're looking back, transferable skills from being an intelligence analyst to cybersecurity that you are able to leverage and transfer from your past experience to your current experience?
Sure. I guess was the part that I had to, as an intelligence analyst, I had to gather and triage and correlate data from multiple sources we had access. We also use a lot of OSINT as well, but we also had closed sources as well in presenting all my findings in intelligence reports or spreadsheets or dashboards for my stakeholders to take preventative or remediate actions. Well, my stakeholder law enforcement will be the commissioners or senior police detectives and such. If you think about this, it's kind of really related to cybersecurity, especially SOC analysts as well. And also, on top of that, also the mentality of I will have to be able to articulate my finding really well for people to understand what I was able to gather and correlate all that data to make sense for their decisions. So that's another aspect of was really important to help me with cybersecurity as well. So I had a lot of experience with that because sometimes I was in a room that not everyone was from law enforcement. So I had people, like the mayor of the city, and I had to explain over there. I was super nervous. I was over there and this high level politician over there. But yeah, so this is helps you a lot. That helped me a lot with the cybersecurity so far.
As you finished up the Google training certificate, had you
Mhm.
start looking for jobs before then, or
No,
did you want to finish the training first? What was your approach in job hunting?
my approach was I was searching to okay, what it takes to be a SOC analyst because before that I had no idea what cybersecurity was. I searched about the role, what they do, and such. And when I learned about the SOC analyst part, that's it. That's totally it, right? So I was still to discover my need, where should I start? And so I started to check what was the requirement, certifications and such, what I need, what was the fundamental knowledge. And then I discovered, yeah, I have to understand what is the internet because before, like I told you before, I had a basic level of IT, so I had to learn everything about networks and such. So that's where I discovered the CompTIA certification, and I did a lot of research. So I started with Network Plus, and after I got the Network Plus, I thought that was like enough to start applying, but I noticed that no, okay, Security Plus is gonna give me the base level. That was my understanding back at the time. So after I got the Security Plus, that I started to applying for positions.
Okay. So right at this point in time in your search, you have a Juris Doctorate from Brazil. You have a Google IT support certification. You have your Network Plus, and now your Security Plus.
Correct.
Okay. How did you go about your search? Were you looking at SOC analyst role, or were you looking at more senior roles? What were you looking at?
Was exclusively looking for entry level cybersecurity roles. And from what I could tell, SOC analyst was the one, at least for me, because you would have the both of the worlds like in this regard of it's an entry level. And I really found it was it had everything with me what I've seen before in law
Mm,
enforcement, right? So it was perfect for me. It was the perfect role. Yeah, and reflecting on the initial months of my journey when I started to apply to SOC analyst position, after I thought that I checked all the boxes for what I believe to be enough to get an entry level job in cybersecurity, I must admit that they were disheartening, receiving rejection after rejection. And it was not only the only disappointing, but it was also deeply discouraging because, especially when I could even secure an interview.
okay.
And
Let's dig into there. So you're applying for lots of roles. On
Mhm.
average, how many roles and how are you going out about applying for them?
So, the thing is, I put on Medium that I was 60 plus. But the thing is, after at 60 plus, after 2 years of applying for positions without even getting an interview, but I checked that I also applied for a lot of positions through LinkedIn, and a lot of those LinkedIn applications that I didn't receive any email from that. So all my counting was based on the emails that I received that those initial emails that say, "Oh, we received your application and
Mhm.
we soon reach out to you," or something. With my new counting, it's 80 plus of
Okay.
rejections.
It sounds like a lot of these were just through applicant tracking system. Is that
Mm.
right to assume? Yeah. Did you use networking or reaching out to people as part of your strategy at the time?
Yes, but I was connecting to a lot of people that it was in the infosec realm, and but I never just reach out to someone and say, "Hey, I'm looking for a job," or anything like that. I was more like trying to make meaningful connections and then ask them for any piece of advice, something like that, and trying to understand where I should focus on in order for me to get an interview, stuff like that. And the thing is, another thing that I remember, I also reached out to local university professors as well and asked them for an internship. And I remember I reached out at least for 5 university professors that was involved with something related with the infosec just to get my feet wet and such. And I was actually asking for internship, not even internship, I'm sorry, for volunteer. I was volunteering myself to do something for free. I just wanted to be part of something, to have something to put on my resume. And from those 5, I only heard back from 2, and one of them asked for my resume. I sent my resume to them, and I never heard back. And I was like, "Okay, so my resume is that bad? That's why the this person's not reaching back to me?" So it was really disappointing, but and throughout the time, I was thinking, "Okay, so what should I do to stand out from the crowd?" Because
Let me ask you a question there. So you
yeah.
brought up the question that the statement, was my resume that bad?
Ye
You have anyone that was helping look at your resume or make evaluations to your resume
No, that was one of my mistakes. Yeah,
or tweaking your resume for the roles?
no, I was like just checking videos and seeing people posting on LinkedIn and saying, "Oh, your resume should look like this and should look like that," and such. People with knowledge and such, really with an extensive experience on that. But I never approached someone and asked them to look at my resume and such. And I feel like this is one of the mistakes I made during my path that I should also should reach out to someone and have them to take a look on my resume. But but yeah, that was one of the mistakes that I made early
So
on that my research.
eventually, then your journey started to turn around. How did you get that interview for your first role?
So the turning point for me was when I started a Medium page where I began to share some CDF walkthroughs and whatnot. And curious enough, not even a month and a couple of articles, I finally got my chance. Finally, interview, my first one. Oh my God. And honestly, I was feeling super confident because I had so much time to prep for that moment that when I finally got the chance, of course, I was a little bit nervous, but I was feeling good. And I used a lot of resources, and one of them was I got right here with me your book and other resources as well. So how to answer what are the most commonly questions asked, the response, how also your book also covers behavior questions and such. And I had a lot of time, right, to prepare myself for this. And yeah, and I did an interview. And when I finally got that call, Chris, and let me ask for your forgiveness because I cannot express, the magnitude of feelings on that particular day. And I simply couldn't believe. But at the same time, I knew for sure that I freaking deserve it. So it was amazing.
That's great. So it sounds like by getting a brand for yourself in your Medium article and starting to go through the capture the flag challenges by showing that you understood technically what's happening
Hmm.
versus just saying it on your resume, you started to notice a difference and people started to pay attention to you. right?
Exactly. Yeah, 100%. Because you gotta show your work, right? In a landscape filled with numerous opportunities and also candidates, I started to ask myself, how can I distinguish from the crowd? And this, I thought about a YouTube channel and such, but I'm not. I'm more introspective person, I
Hmm.
should say. So I thought, okay, so maybe posting something online like a blog or something that I can show my work to potential employers that I understand the concept and I know how to dig into findings and such. Maybe that's gonna put me on a better perspective from the other candidates.
So you got your first role. Congratulations. What are some of the things that you're now doing to keep up? Because we know getting the first role is just the first step in. Now you have to keep the role and you have to advance. What are some of the things that you're doing to keep up and to advance your career?
So as of now, I'm focusing solely on my work, on my understanding and working, studying the platforms that I use to do my job as a security analyst. So I'm focusing on that right now, but also at the same time, continuing checking the news. We got several website, YouTube channels and podcasts that we can keep us ourselves updated with the latest threats. So I'm continuing doing that. And I was doing that way before because also some questions on the interview could come about what is happening to our space and such, the latest breaches. And yeah, for now, I'm going to continue that. But later on, I'm going to pursue and get my next search. Probably it's gonna be the CISA Plus from CompTIA. I guess this is the second one I wanted to obtain. And from now on, I will just see what is best for my role, see what is best for me to take a next step and go to a level 2 and continuing the good work, continuing writing.
That's a great approach. I think one of the things that you can always do to progress in your role is learn more about the platforms that you're working with on a daily basis and how to solve problems there. And your comment about finding a certification that would help you advance your career versus just the next certification. That's also a highly critical aspect to consider. Great advice. Thank you so much for coming on today, Raphael. Really appreciate hearing about you and hearing about your journey.
No, thank you. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Yeah, like I said, I'm honored to be here. I never thought that one day I'll be here. Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. And I hope that all the listeners was able to catch something and maybe inspire them to continue the journey because for me it was very hard, but at the end it worked.
Thank you so much. And for those listening, feel free to share. I'll be sharing Raphael's LinkedIn, so you can reach out to him on LinkedIn if you have any questions. And have a great day. And thank you for listening, Breaking Into